It's hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too-Tall, your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host of the MC Too-Tall Show, broadcasting on YouTube and Rumble. And it's MAGA Hat Monday.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce, and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring, and George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
But the way some of these other immigrants are getting treated in our country right now is a travesty and a disgrace. I think there's a difference between amazing immigrants and criminal immigrants. And I think what's going on in our country, what we're doing to some of these amazing immigrants, is really unfortunate and it's really sad. And that's a great immigrant story. We have a lot of great immigrant stories out there their stories need to be told, but some of the stuff that's happening to immigrants in our country right now is really unfortunate and it's really unfair. But immigrants built this country, and we should admire them and respect them.
All right, that was the entire rant from Charles Barkley the other night about March Madness, and it wasn't about March Madness. I'm not going to come down as hard on Charles Barkley as I usually do on people. Reason being is that people get their news sources from these false soothsayers, and it's only partially their fault for not looking for better news sources. But if the same news you've been relying on for many years betrays you and turns its back against you, you don't detect it. I used to be an avid watcher of ABC News, World News Tonight. I go back to watching it when Frank Reynolds was the anchor and Peter Jennings was in London, Max Robinson was in Chicago. All three gentlemen are now deceased. But the point I'm making is that I'm not going to come down as hard on Charles Barkley. But at the same time, he wants to be poetic and talk about, his feelings about these people during a broadcast about March Madness. Your job is to get people away from that, take their minds off of that. Now, you could say, well, what about Stephen A. Smith? Well, Stephen A. Smith doesn't do any of that on ESPN. He does talk political, but on his own podcast, on his own YouTube, or what have you. He's got his own avenue for that. He compartmentalizes. And quite frankly, Charles Barkley, no one is stopping you from doing that either. And hey, you might even get some build-up. Look at Shannon Sharp, which I'm sorry the cancel culture got to Shannon Sharp. I don't think it was fair what happened to Shannon Sharp. But maybe you have better luck. And I say that because not what Shannon Sharp did in his past should not have had to cause him to shut down his broadcast. You could launch one. Maybe Shannon Sharp could be your first guest. Then you could have other people on board. Like Stephen A. Smith, like Bill O'Reilly, like senators and people like that, members of the presidential cabinet. Have an open dialogue. Be open and give fair assessments. And agree to disagree with your guests, same as Stephen A. Smith. The man set the blueprint. And he doesn't hate on anybody that also launches a podcast. He congratulated Shannon Sharp. And I'm sure he would congratulate you too. So, meantime, if you're doing sports analysis and you're on a station that's geared up for sports analysis, please do that. Stay in that lane for as long as you're on that station. Then, if you want to create your own lane elsewhere, I'm sure you'll get your viewers. No harm, no foul, but keep it all for the sports stations. Please. From a diehard sports fan. And a Knicks fan. Anyway, I'm MC Too Tall. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Don't be gross. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang.